Live from the Slackers Sports Bar Studios. This is In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
Hub Sports Radio in Southtown, Texas. It is episode 274. Welcome into all members and subscribers and drive-byers, and thank you and welcome. Jose Bouquet is the audio disseminator. It is Rudy and Mike, and away we go as we do this thing for you boys that like to watch it live. It is Thursday. I'm
Thursday?
I'm tore up. I woke up this morning and found out that the great Gene Hackman had died.
I didn't realize he was 95.
So, yeah, he's 95, so it's not shocking he's dead, but the circumstances are weird.
It's super weird. The dog too, right?
The dog too. So
and the wife. So that sounds like carbon monoxide, right?
Okay, so the great Gene Hackman. I made notes and everything. I'm torn up.
I got his movies listed right here and everything. Let's give
Gene Hackman,
pour something out for him.
And his wife, who was only in her early 60s, and their dog.
Not the dog.
Have been found dead in their home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Gene was 95, as Rudy mentioned. Bizarre circumstances. Betsy was only 63. Their dog was dead. The first two things that I thought of was carbon monoxide.
Me too.
And then, God forbid, the old classic murder-suicide.
Well, they said no foul play, so it's either carbon monoxide.
They
said carbon monoxide, or they went Romeo Juliet.
Yeah, swallowed pills, and they got to do a toxicology.
I hope not.
But I guess she didn't shoot him in the head because they like you said, they said no foul play.
So
not to get super dark, man. And I mean, I'm sure most of our viewers who are still old men at this point, like us, are well familiar and well aware of the great Gene Hackman. I doubt Bouquet has seen anything.
Yes,
Gene's
he has.
been in. Although, have you ever seen Hoosiers, Bouquet?
I have, but I know him from The Replacements.
The Replacements. Okay, very fine.
What about Crimson Tide?
No.
Okay, this is a dude, and we'll give Bouquet. You know what? We should do we start assigning him Gen X movies
and music.
Yeah, and music too. So Gene needs no introduction with Gen Xers and Boomers. He won 2 Oscars, 3 Golden Globes.
2 Oscars?
Won the Cecil DeMille Award, which is basically lifetime achievement for Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Betsy was only 63 years old.
Who's Betsy?
His wife.
Okay.
She was a longtime classical pianist. She married Gene 34 years ago when she was 29 and he was 61.
Little Belichick in him.
Not quite as bad as Bill.
That's Belichick.
It's in the ballpark.
It's Belichicky.
And for people that call bullshit back in the day, it worked. They stayed together 30 years and died together. So
I guess it wasn't for the money.
No, absolutely.
She loved her some
Gene.
Gene.
Loved her some Gene, and he loved her. And I mean, for the older school people and baby boomers, y'all will probably most remember French Connection back in 1971. For Gen Xers, it was Hoosiers in 86. The first 2 Superman movies. I fell in love with Gene when he did Mississippi Burning. Have you seen Mississippi Burning?
Of course.
Of course. He played the FBI agent. He and Willem Dafoe got sent down to small podunk-ass Mississippi to track down these racist murderers who killed these civil rights workers. And he was just effing phenomenal in that. And you just scissor kicked those murderers. And The Birdcage, he was hilarious in. He did comedy. He was the crazy sub-commander in Crimson Tide.
That was good.
Did you see Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood?
No.
In the early 90s? All right. I know you don't love Westerns, though.
I'm not a big, I do because my grandfather watched them and I would watch them with him, but I wasn't in love with it. I just watched it to spend time with my granddad.
Right. Now, he played the local sheriff in the movie Unforgiven. Clint Eastwood was the outlaw, the bad guy.
Okay.
And the great Morgan Freeman was his sidekick.
Yes. I know the movie. I haven't seen it.
So good. So he could play like a massive, evil, murderous dick, but then he could turn around and be super funny like he was in Royal Tenenbaums.
Don't sleep on Enemy of the State.
Oh, I loved Enemy of the State.
Because some people consider that you know, because it's Will Smith. So people,
no, it was
I thought Enemy State was great.
I love Will Smith, by the way. I love his work. I don't know about the man. And then finally Gene hung it up in 2004, which when he was done, he was kind of done. His last actual movie was 21 years ago, 2004.
21.
With Ray Romano in Welcome to Mooseport. And then, but I mean, over the years, he had done some narration on some military documentaries and did some painting and wrote a couple of books, but that's it. He hadn't done much movie-wise at all in over 20 years, but dead at 95 years old with his wife of 30 plus years and their dogo. That tells me maybe like, because I mean, she's 63. She ain't old, but maybe they like left the gas on.
The dog too, though?
Yeah, but that's what makes me think the house got gas.
It has to be.
Has to be.
Because you can't really smell it. That's a horrible way to go.
Damn. Yeah. So, so I was reading all about his life this morning. It's got me shook. I love Gene Hackman. I love him.
Gene was really good. What was Wyatt Earp about?
Wyatt Earp. That was he was in that with
that was 94.
I think he was also that was Kevin Costner too, I believe, who was in Wyatt Earp.
Epic biography of a Western.
Western. He was great. He could do anything, man. He was the shit.
Yeah, it was Kevin Costner and Dennis Quaid.
Okay, yeah. He went into journalism out of college and television production. He was going to be like a TV producer.
And ended up being a great actor.
Caught the full-time acting bug at 27. His breakthrough film was in 1967 for you baby boomers. He played Buck Barrow, who was the brother of Clyde Barrow. Did you ever see Bonnie and Clyde?
No.
About Dallas's own Bonnie and Clyde. Warren Beatty played Clyde. Faye Dunaway played Bonnie, but Gene was in his early 30s when he played Clyde Barrow's brother, and he won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for that.
Damn.
And that's what blew him up. He wound up winning. He had 5 total Oscar noms, won twice, Best Actor in 72 for French Connection. And I'm good, I'm shook, I'm shook.
Was Hoosiers a good movie?
I loved Hoosiers.
Was it? I mean, I know we loved it, but I loved Gremlins too. I mean, it was great.
It's a good point. Rudy brings up a good point. There are so many things from back when we were kids that we loved. But then you go back and watch it now, and you're like, that's trash.
Yeah. I'm like, there's some movies that I loved.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old white trash Taylor with my rat tail and my cut-off jorts with my cowboy boots. I loved Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh,
but if
I thought we all did.
Boss Hog. Watch that now. I can't imagine. I might want to blow my head off 5 minutes.
I think Dukes of Hazzard may stand the test of time.
Well, I don't. Dude.
You know what was terrible? The Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk.
Terrible.
It was terrible.
You know what?
It was bad, but I loved it. It was bad though.
And I don't even have to go back and I haven't seen an episode of Incredible Hulk in 45 years. I don't need to go back, and I can tell you right now, I know it's going to be trash if I go watch it.
The way he was
dude, I think Hoosiers
is
one of the best sports movies of all time.
Sure,
especially for guys our age.
Run the picket fence. We're not shooting until we've had 5 passes.
I love you guys. The story of the short white boys who overcome those big evil black guys at South Bend Central at the championship.
Finally, a story that needs to be told.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, it was great. It was a great effing movie, and what was my favorite scene in Hoosiers, there were many, was my runner-up is when Jimmy Chitwood decides to come back and play.
Me too.
He was the best player in the state, but his daddy had died, and so he quit basketball.
Went through some stuff.
He was going through depression, wouldn't play. And they're getting ready to kick Gene Hackman out as coach because nobody liked him in Little Hickory, Indiana. He was this outsider New Yorker dude, and he was too hard on the boys, and he acted like it was a boot camp and this kind of thing. And they had this vote in a church one night as to whether or not to fire him. And spoiler alert, we're
not doing spoiler alert. Screw you if you haven't seen it.
This came out in 86. And Jimmy shows up and basically gives everybody in the town an ultimatum. He's like, I've been thinking it's time for me to get back to playing ball again. Everybody's like, yeah, all right, cool. One condition. Coach stays, I stay. Coach goes, I go. And they're like, fuck. So they had to do a recount.
Sorry, we're going to keep him.
Saved him. But then toward the end of the movie where they get to the championship, I'll never forget the scene where there's a small town Hick boys and they go into this massive gym in the middle, like probably in Indianapolis.
Indiana's big basketball state.
They're like, oh my God. They're all like, the kids are like, holy shit. Look at this place. And Gene's like, hey, do me a favor.
Measure.
Strap put ollie on your shoulders. Okay. Measure from the rim to the floor. What is it? 10 feet. Okay. Could I take the tape measure? Go up here to the free throw line. What is it from the free throw line to the baseline? 12 feet. He's like, yeah, okay. I think you'll find those exact same numbers as our old gym back in Hickory. And they're like, oh, okay. It's just the same court. It was bad. It was a great movie. Movie. I miss going to the movies, man.
When's the last time you've been to the
Not often. And because life has changed, the world has changed. Bouquet, I don't know if you remember. So what are you, 27 now? Bouquet?
27.
Yeah.
Do you remember a time when you could not just go watch movies on Netflix or Paramount or whatever, and you had to go to the theater to see them, or wait till they came out on a VHS cassette tape and watch them 8 months later?
He ain't that young.
I have very faint memories of them. The last movie I can think about doing that was for Larry the Cable Guy's movie when he came that out.
What are you, 4?
Yeah, so that was a while ago.
I loved going to the movies back in the day, and I don't see a lot of movies anymore. We watch television series, mostly Nina and me, but we do go through kicks where we go back and watch old movies for fun
to see if it was really good or if it was trash.
Sure, absolutely. And of course, she's 7 years younger than me, so there's some stuff.
There's still a little.
So we recommend stuff to each other. Some of her older millennial movies, and I hit her in the head with Gen X movies and
Big Trouble, Little China.
Stuff like that. Sure. We'll go with that. And I've made her, she's cool. I appreciate that. She'll stop down and watch like sports movies that I love and recommend, and I'll watch things that she digs and stuff. So, but she's an old movie buff too. And it sucks because like there's not very many reasons to go to the theater anymore because it all goes to Netflix.
Yeah, eventually either Netflix or Amazon, one of the two, it'll go there and you can spend
either one.
You can spend, let's say you spend $20 at Amazon.
Yeah.
You're saved $80.
Right. It's $80. I don't have to get in the car. I don't have to put up with people being noisy and popcorn being chewed and shit like that.
Fun fact for people that live on my side of town, I'm off Petranco in 1604.
Okay.
The theater right there, literally less than a mile from my house, called Flicks. On Wednesdays, there's $5 movies. But you can't buy the ticket until Wednesday morning. Like you can't do it like today for next Wednesday. Like Wednesday morning, you got to get up. If you're a Fandango guy like me, I like to make sure I pick my seats early.
Yeah.
$5. And see, me and my wife will go when the kids are at school. Now we're out of there.
Nice.
Now we're out of there for $10.
Well played.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's worth going.
New releases and everything.
Yeah, less than a mile, $10. It's a date. That makes sense.
The other problem is that movie companies, not everything just goes straight to like not everything great is in the theater.
Yeah, some of the straight to Netflix or straight to Paramount. I mean, it's
better than the other shit.
Absolutely.
Like the Oscars are coming up. 2/3 of that stuff will be that stuff got dropped first on Prime or Netflix or whatever. And it's just like movies going to the theater just isn't the event that it used to be. And I guess it never will be because if I'm going to go to the theater and spend the $80 and listen to people make noise, it's got to be something that's like really fucking brilliant that I know I'm going to love.
What was the last movie you went to?
Great question. And I don't know.
Damn, me and my wife went to see. Oh, I went to see Gladiator 2 in the theater while the kids were at school.
Very good. I still haven't seen Gladiator 2. You liked it though, right?
I liked it.
Yeah. You know what, man? I don't think I've been to the movie theater to see a movie since Oppenheimer 2 years ago.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's been that long.
Well, the thing about it is, as bad,
jeez,
as awful as COVID was, it also taught us a lot. It's like, oh, we don't need to pay $40,000 a month for this big ass building. We can get more done and be more productive from home.
Yeah,
we don't have to go to the movie theater and spend $100. Like there was some good things that came out of COVID. There's a lot of bad, much more bad though.
But I just remember being a kid where you didn't have all this media right at your ready.
No, we didn't have this. There was
no
the
theater
Netflix.
Was an event. It was fun,
and we didn't have a jailbroken Fire Stick where you could get the movie.
Didn't have those either. No, or I didn't have DJLG's HBO Max account that he gave me years ago that I still use.
Oh, for real?
There you go.
I have my sister-in-law's Disney.
Take that, Lauren.
Yeah, I got my sister-in-law's Disney account.
That's funny. Welcome to In the Building, man. It's crazy.
Rest in peace, Gene.
Absolutely. God, I'm shook by that. I'm torn up. I need to know what happened. I'm assuming carbon monoxide.
It's gotta be.
Gotta be, man.
Because I mean, because
they purpose.
Yeah, they better not have given like what the dog didn't agree to Romeo and Juliet.
No, I know that ain't cool. Take the dog down
so
to the
that's
SPCA or something. What are we
it's
doing?
gotta be carbon monoxide.
Maybe they
which
believe like
sucks.
the Egyptians. Now the Egyptians believed, Rudy, that your animals went with you to the afterlife and they would be with you there. So maybe they were thinking maybe Gene's an old Egyptian pharaoh worshiper. I don't know. Maybe he worships Egyptian kings.
Never know, man.
I don't know. I shouldn't be goofing after this.
But 90.
I'm sad about it though.
Betsy,
she was 63.
That's young.
Yeah, man.
95 though. If I get to 95, I'll go happily. 95, that's a great life.
Yeah.
I'm praying for 75. If I get to 95, that's dope.
I'm just thinking like old man, because Gene looked bad.
I haven't seen him.
There have been some photos in recent years of him out like he's got a cane and he's having to hold Betsy's other arm, and he looked like he weighed about 90 pounds. And
that sucks.
I think about these things, and the devil on my shoulders, like, oh yeah, he probably killed her. He killed everybody. He killed himself. He left the stove on, or he left the car running, or something like that.
That sucks.
Decided to take the Dogo with him. But the other thing is, he's probably 95. Maybe he just had a brain fart and forgot, like left something on. Left the car running on accident. I mean, you never know, man. I mean, there was an old man in my old neighborhood years and years ago when I was living in Fort Worth, 1992. I had an old man lived adjacent to us right across the street. Lived alone. He was like 90 something. He used to deliver copies of the Star Telegram, the Fort Worth Star Telegram.
Right.
He was a newspaper boy. He did that to stay in shape.
Oh,
he had a wagon and he'd walk around our neighborhood delivering the paper. 90 suit. We loved him. He blew himself up in his house, left the gas on accident, forgot about it, went to bed, and all of a sudden, I walk outside. This old man, I'd never seen anything like it. Right in my neighborhood, right in my street, probably 4 stories high of flames. And we were all scared. You just saw I could see shadows of neighbors running from their houses to get away from it. Fire trucks and TV news reporters, the whole bit, and they pulled his ass out of there in a body bag, the whole bit. I'll never forget that. That was
during
dramatic.
the freeze. Some people did that with their generators, the carbon monoxide, because it was so cold.
Right.
It was sad situation.
You worry about old people that live together. Now we're totally speculating here because Gene's wife was 63. Again, she was a young lady. 63 is not old like it used to be.
Right.
Oh man. So anyway, pour some out. The great Gene Hackman into acting Valhalla at the age of 95. All right, I saw my boy AJ popped in here a minute ago talking movies. The Baseline Bums. They have dropped another show.
They dropped another show, but scroll back up. Go back up to the Baseline Bums post.
What did he say?
I want to remember what he said, because right there. No, that wasn't it. He brought up one of Gene Hackman's movies from 71, and I'm like,
The French Connection.
What year was that?
71.
They're combined 36. What do they know about the French Connection?
Well, he's a man of education.
Yeah, one of them 17, one of them's 12. Hey, they don't know nothing about that.
AJ's he draws on his beard.
Yeah, come on, man.
He read that today in the paper and decided, or he read that in the paper. He read that online and decided to drop that to make himself look smart.
Yeah.
No, I believe he saw it. I mean, I've hung out with AJ once, and we've talked to him on the phone a few times. He's a man that gets out. He's a man that experiences things. He experiences things.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, you're Gen Xer, though. There's old school movies that you love that weren't around.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, what's your favorite old movie? Like before you were born? Do you have one?
Mm-mm.
Can you think of one?
Mm-mm.
Which one? Like Jose would be like Gremlins. What's the oldest movie? What's y'all's favorite movie ever that came out before you were even born?
My movies will make you guys sick.
I'm sure. What?
Well, the
Top Gun.
No, the first one I thought it was Shawshank.
You weren't born when Shawshank came out.
94.
Wow, that's right. Yeah. That's my favorite movie of all time.
If Shawshank is on, I don't know if it's my favorite movie of all time, but if Shawshank's on, I stop down.
No matter where in the movie it is,
that don't matter.
Stop down and watch it. Yep.
Andy Dufresne, baby.
Yep, I know, man.
Yeah, shout out to Andy.
I hope the ocean is as blue in my dreams as it has been. I hope the ocean. I hope the Pacific is as blue in person as it has been in my dreams. I'm not trying to quote Morgan Freeman. You can't do it.
No,
bad
no,
anyway.
Morgan Freeman.
Oh man, I got reminded today. I used to love to go to the movie theater. Now we can't.
I still like it. I just don't like drop again, especially if it's 4 of us. If it's 4 of us, because then one wants Starburst, one wants nachos, and I'm just like, dude.
But don't you do the old dipsy do and put the shit down your pants?
No, now if your bag's too big, they check it. You haven't been to the movies in a while.
Oh, really?
They'll kind of peek in there.
Well, see, I used to take a flask of whiskey and I would wear cowboy boots to the movies, and I'd stick.
See, they're not. Yeah, you can do that.
I'd have peanut M&Ms in my boot with a flask, ready to roll.
Now that I'll still drink. I'll still sneak some liquor in, but you can't sneak no snacks in anymore.
Yeah, that's correct. Finna go. Miss Taylor was effing hot. I don't know what that means,
Yeah,
but
who was Miss Taylor?
what movie is that? What movie we talking about?
That made me think of Major Leagues, if I'm being honest.
Or is it from French Connection?
Maybe it's French Connection.
Probably French Connection.
And that's before my time. That doesn't mean I don't love movies that were made before my time, like The Exorcist. Is one of my favorite movies.
You know what?
Came out before I was born.
It's terrible now, but one of those movies that came out before I was born, The Omen, Exorcist.
The Omen, yeah. Bonnie and Clyde. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Came out in 1967. I wasn't born until 1974. But I just think that probably guys our age and older, we probably are more aware of old movies because movies were what you did.
Right.
You know, these kids
it was an event.
They won't be as aware of old school movies because there's no excuse to watch them.
Right.
Because you have so much, it's unlimited.
Everything's at your fingertips,
and TV and shows and stuff.
Right.
Thank y'all for talking to me about that. I wanted to start with that because that shook me when I read that this morning when I woke up.
But based on
Elizabeth
Bums,
Taylor, thank you, finna go. Yeah.
Based on Bums, they're dropping they're dropping a new episode today at 10:30.
Oh, very good. After we're done. Oh, very good. So be looking for the Baseline Bums today on Love You Hard TV. Another edition of Baseline Bums.
10:30.
10:30, right when we get done.
Yes,
all right. Show brought to you in part by Ribaldo Realty Group. Get your asses in here, watch our show. You can shoot us a super chat. You can tip us. We're working on Buy Me a Coffee. It's imminent. We're going to get that back up and rolling pretty soon. But you can, in the meantime, shoot us a super chat right now. If you feel like giving me or Rudy some tip money, we would certainly gratefully appreciate that. Keeps our little fledgling company coming. If you can go to the club and give 200-300 in ones, you can give us a couple of bucks. I mean, golly, become a member. It's only $6 a month to become a member of our programming as well. So get your ass on there and help us out with the tip and support our supporters. Especially because Rudy and I, we don't do business with junky people. We do business with dudes who are about something, like Mr. J. Ribaldo, the official real estate agent of In the Building, the Ribaldo Realty Group. Hundreds of listings if you're in the market to look into buying a home this year. Maybe you're looking to get into the market to sell a home. Jay's also your guy on that. 210-887-1081. You can email him directly, jribaldo@kw.com, and look at all of his different listings on his website, commercial as well, at ribaldo.com, ribaldo.com.
Yeah. And it's really simple as calling him, and then Jay takes over. And then he tells you, hey, I need this. And you go, cool. Right. I need this. Cool. Absolutely. Like, it's really that simple. Just give him a call and let him do what he do as the rookie of the year, like Wemby.
Yes, sir. All right. A couple of quick announcements before we move on. I told you to bear with us. Stop all the people on a knee jerk. And I appreciate, I would rather hear from your complaints than to never complain to me and just go away. I apologize that our Spotify has been down in the last few days. However, Spotify is back up and running, bitches. Thank you to Bouquet. He has helped us with that, has taken care of our Spotify. You may now, LG, spent 30 minutes on the phone with him last night, just crossing T's and dotting I's and stuff. Spotify is back up and running. It is a long, arduous task I've had, and me and Rudy and Bouquet's been awesome too, trying to get our business back in order. Our content is as kick-ass as ever, but all the behind-the-scenes things that keep you happy and satisfied, some of it got broken down because I frankly didn't know how to do it. So I've been at school the last week trying to learn how to do this shit. So we're excited. So Spotify's back up.
We've had one person tell us Apple was.
Somebody said Apple was up and running, but Jose Bouquet insists it's not. That might have been a mistake. I have no idea. Maybe he mistook Apple
people speak now.
Maybe he thought it was Apple, but it was actually Spotify. So we good, man. We good. Thank you. Spotify's back on. So for my Spotify guys, it's like, oh, I can't watch your show with the car. I need to listen to it on Spotify. That's fine. You can now
AD's a
go watch
Spotify
it.
guy.
And not only is this show now back on Spotify, the shows we missed are back to Spotify.
Yes, thank you,
So
Bouquet.
you go get caught up, because he dropped all the ones we've done since last Tuesday when LG jumped into the transfer portal and transferred to Bama. All right. What else? We're 1 week away from In the Building Radio. I'm so happy. I'm looking forward to that.
Literally 1 week
for that. So thank you for those that have reached out about radio. They're like all excited about the radio. We're on K Alamo Radio in San Antonio beginning next Thursday. And I want to encourage you now. It's 2025.
Talk to him, Mike.
Knowing how people do things and how they suck up their audio watching and their video watching, I would download the app to K Alamo Radio now. That way, I don't want you having any static issues. I couldn't pick the signal up in Cthulhu.
I don't want to hear none of that.
I couldn't hear you up in shirts. There's a beautiful, crystal clear app. All the stations our radio show is going to be on all have their own app, starting with K Alamo, Tejano Radio, 98.9, 92.1, shit. K Alamo has its own app. Magic 104 in Corpus Christi, they have their own app. Magic 95 in Victoria, they have their own app. Tejano Mix in El Paso, it's an internet radio station in El Paso. So we're digital too, bitches. And not to mention, you can watch our radio show on Roku. You can watch the radio show on Tejano San Antonio Television Roku channel, starting next Thursday, every Thursday, 6 to 7 live on all of the Lopez family broadcasting outlets. I'm stoked. Happy.
Super duper.
All right. What else today? NFL rules changes.
Talk to me.
I think that's the thing I want to start with sports, if you're down with that.
Let's do it.
Let's
get to some sports.
I stand corrected, man.
What?
Yesterday I criticized the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I compared it. I said, yesterday it was like I was talking about how slow the NFL is to pass any rules. Now, of course,
but that's still true. Okay,
it has taken a while to get here.
This is just being mulled over. This isn't in stone.
Right. So this is what we now know, as you football fans probably know, the NFL Combine is going on this week in Indianapolis, the underwear Olympic Games for prospects. Associated Press this morning, the NFL is considering changing overtime rules in the regular season to decrease the advantage for teams that win the coin toss. So until 2011, y'all remember back in the day.
Damn, that's back in the day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In overtime, if you won the toss and you scored, it was over. And I thought, well, that ain't fair.
No.
Both teams ought to get a chance to handle the football. Oh, Taylor, quit being a pussy. Defense is part of football too. No, it's a lot harder to play defense than it is offense. How many games before 2011, you're like, oh, they won the coin toss, they're going to win. All they have to do is get into field goal range and it's over. That sucked.
I didn't like that.
No. Finally, the NFL came to its senses and tried to make it more even. But even that, like if you win the toss and you kick a field goal, the other team gets the ball, right? But if you win the toss and you score a touchdown, you still win. That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's horseshit. Finally, the NFL's decided, you know what? Yeah, it's not. The team that wins the toss wins 60% of the time. We got to figure out how to make that more fair, So they're mulling changes to the overtime rule, which I still like the old college rule myself, but a lot of y'all
start
don't.
On the 25?
Something like that, yeah. Or just I don't know. I think you just give both teams a possession.
From 35.
Yeah. And let's see if they can.
You know what?
I
do. You know what? Yeah.
Way easier ways
I
to
do like college overtime better than NFL.
Yeah. It's more fair.
It's more exciting.
Way more exciting.
It's more exciting because was it Texas, Ohio State?
The Arizona State game.
Remember how
epic that game was?
Texas, Arizona State.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
All right. So, and here's the other thing. We're going to start. I'll be damned. The NFL is actually joining the 21st century.
The NFL is San Antonio.
No shit. Right.
Hey, we ain't changing.
Yeah, right. I
We're
know.
Gonna stay the same.
I'm not gonna go to YouTube. What are you talking about?
I want to listen to a staticky AM station.
Right.
I don't want the crystal clear YouTube.
Crazy.
That is the NFL.
Right. I know. We're finally going to have digital first down markers where you don't
Why
have
does
to
this take
bring
so
the
long?
chain gang out anymore.
But I don't want no one to lose their job. Can we give? I don't want the.
Fuck them. It's never necessary. Your
Come on,
job
Mike.
is obsolete. It's outdated. Tennis has been. I don't even know what the umpire does anymore in tennis.
Argue with the players.
They're able to tell if the ball is 1 millimeter on the line.
But how does technology tell us if Josh Allen got the first? Because Josh, you know what I mean?
It is.
I'm wondering how this works.
Baseball's finally gonna start eventually next season, I think, in the regular season, letting robot. You can like challenge an umpire's call and tell.
But I hope it's only a few a game. Baseball already takes too long.
Well, I think they're gonna get 2 challenges a game. But see, I don't like that. What if we have a shitty umpire and he fucks up 7 calls? That's not my fault.
Right.
He keeps missing calls.
Would it make you feel better?
Steps.
Would it make you
Yes.
feel better if it was 2 incorrect challenges? So if they get it right, they keep the 2.
Okay, I like it. Is that the rule?
Yes.
Okay, as long as you're right,
I
you get to
prefer
keep
that.
it. Why don't the NFL do that?
And the NBA. Like if I make my challenge, I should keep my flag.
Yeah, it ain't my fault that I got fucking Donnie Darko as my referee. Keeps missing calls. I don't fear that I'm. Yeah, I agree. So is that true? LG, I'm gonna call you LG 10 times. So if as long as you're right as a coach and you win the call, you don't spin the call.
Yeah,
I like it.
Imagine that. We're doing something that makes mathematical sense. It's bullshit. Billy Morgan brings up GPS in the ball. That's absolutely a thing that could be done. No problem. Easy peasy.
We're putting a little chip in the ball.
Yes. Dude, these are billions of dollars at stake here.
Yeah, it possibly costs Buffalo a trip to the Super Bowl.
Possibly. For sure. Absolutely. So I look, it takes forever. The NFL takes about as long to get anything done as Congress, but we're finally here and we're finally going to get some shit.
Yeah, let's figure out
good.
this overtime
Let's
thing, though.
get
I
this
like
thing
college
right.
overtime. Some people, chat says college overtime is whack, Matt Bernard, but Chris says college overtime is far superior, and it's not even close. I guess it's,
in parentheses, former Mavs fan.
Please read
he
that
left
fully.
He left.
We'll see how. That's my cousin.
Well, this is what I'll
see
say.
how long he's.
Hey,
we'll see how long.
When y'all are fully healthy next year, Chris,
Yeah.
you can't come back.
Well, let's discuss that with him next year. Let's see if let them come back first.
I don't know, man. I hate seeing people lose their gigs. Like, what if I was a part of the chain gang and my wife see me on TV and
what you getting $50 a game? They don't pay them people. They don't pay them.
And those guys are all old as hell too.
Hey, no old shaming,
No
sir.
more chain gang.
Get them out.
No old shaming, sir.
Now, I think we're still going to have them, okay, just to make you feel better, Unc. You're not going to lose your job. We're not going to need you to run out and measure the ball anymore. Y'all are going to be a guide for the play while it's in motion, because quarterbacks need to be able to see where the marker's at and stuff. But we're not going to have the old school measurement, which was always very dramatic, waiting to see where the ball was.
Yeah.
But it was not mathematically feasible to do that.
No, it's not.
No, not with billions of dollars at stake and the world watching your sport.
I think we have it easier at home to see the first down with our yellow line than they do actually in the stadium.
There's no question about it.
It's not even close.
And that's one of the reasons they're finally changing the rule, because hell, everybody at home knows we fucked it up, but we don't until the game's over. I mean, that's insane. You can't run a business that way.
Right.
They did for years, but you can't do that. All right. What else today? I got gifts. I'm bearing gifts again.
Oh.
The fifth, no one's put a tip in. No one. I'm gonna cut this show early if I don't start tipping.
9:45. We're about this BR.
No. All right. The fifth person to tip. Help me keep count on this, y'all. It could be $1. It don't matter how much the amount. The fifth person to tip this show, I will personally deliver. Can you see that? You probably can't see it too well in this dark studio.
No.
This is an in the building coffee coaster or a beer coaster. Look at this. It's really cool.
Show the other camera.
It's made out of this one.
Yeah.
Here you go. So can you see that? The logo is on there. It's really cool.
A little bit.
It's like made out of I don't know if it's made out of rock or something. Hear that? What's that sound like?
Yeah, that's stone.
It's great though.
It's really cool.
I have the same coasters, not in the building form, but I have the same ones, and they're lovely.
So Rudy, you can see that's got it says in the building, and it's got our logo. It's got our circular logo that you see behind us here. on the coaster.
I like it.
It's really cool. It's got the little suctions on the bottom. So
I almost took those home.
Won't move. All right, the 5th person to donate money to this show before we get done today, I will personally deliver, unless you live out of the state or the city, I will personally deliver this coaster to you along with a set of my used joints.
And I got Jason Garcia's address to send it to him in Portland.
Right.
I got his address.
He won the baseball cap yesterday. Right. And Mr. George, I still have the T-shirt for him, the bootleg T-shirt. Right. All right. It is in the building. I appreciate y'all jumping in here. Get that money coming. I'll send you these coasters.
How many is it? 4?
5. Fifth tipper.
Nice.
5th man to tip or woman. 5th person to tip is going to get this coaster. All right.
Let's do it.
All right. Show brought to you in part by Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store of In the Building. 7 locales, 6 in the San Antonio proper area, 1 up in Bernie. There are the locations. So the one that I used to work at is, and for those of you that know your geography in this city,
oh boy,
that one right there off of 281 Boulevardy and Evans in Stone Oak. That is the one that I spent 6 months.
And those numbers next to them, they aren't necessarily the numbers of the store. Mike worked at store number 6. It says 4, but it's actually store number 6. But when you put Texas Cheer Liquor hashtag number, it'll take you where you need to go.
Very good. So people, y'all know where you live. There, find the one closest to you. All things at all the Texas Cheer Liquors. 5% off when you mention In the Building.
Get you a lick kit. It's almost spring break time. You headed down to Port A or Rockport.
True.
Get you a couple lit kits. Get you a couple buzz balls.
Hey,
but make sure you mention In the Building.
Hey, we sell kegs.
And we do sell kegs. You got to call ahead for the keg, but it's worth it.
All right. And everything purchased, including
look at them Biggie Buzz
Biggie's Buzz Balls.
The new this is the version. This is Jose's Mad Dog 2020.
Course.
Really?
And that and Four Loko.
You don't know nothing about Four Loko. That's before your time.
No. I've had a few.
You've had Four Loko?
I've had like 3 in my life. Yeah.
Like we don't even do Four Loko at Texas Cheer. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, and I guess box drinks as well. That's the new thing. That's
the beatbox.
Beatboxes, yeah.
Beatboxes are very popular with the 30 and under crowd. That's super popular.
Has taken my soul.
Beatbox. You said it's taking your soul?
Yeah, it took my soul in a UTSA parking lot once. Yeah, it's
the beatboxes got some ass on them.
Yeah.
The Biggie Buzz Balls, even though it's they're sweet, they got some ass on them.
This is the kind of stuff I picture at like a freak off.
You'd be surprised how many older people like sweet.
I can't do it.
No,
give me beer.
He needs a whiskey to put some hair on his chest.
A little tequila. No, I ain't hating no one that drinks these. I sold a shit ton of these to women when I was managing the one
because they get together for Galentine's.
Sure,
and they like to sip. So the story behind this lady was she was sipping at the pool wine, accidentally hit her wine glass. It breaks. Wine goes everywhere. So she was like, I'm gonna invent something that when I'm sitting by the pool, if I knock it, move it, it's not breaking, not spilling. So there you have it. Women rule the world.
Don't forget.
Me Too movement, baby.
I know.
Woman owned.
I know. Hashtag ruin everybody's career movement. Jason Lee, tip number 1, $10. Cheers, gents. Thank you, Jason. That's
Jason.
1. 4th. Okay, we got 4 more. The 5th person to tip us, I will personally deliver this coaster to you. The In the Building coaster. All right. People always ask, where's the swag? Well, if we finally got some, we got merch. So here you go. This is my way of introducing merch to the thing. Eventually, we're going to have a website full of merch. You can just buy whatever you want, but I'm giving these away. Look, I've breathed on this one. It's touched Rudy's skin. This is an authentic, used in the studio.
Put my balls on
in the building coaster. I'll just sit on it. I'm going to sit on
it.
Now watch the money fly in.
Yeah. Jason serves this great country of ours, 13 years in the Air Force. I wonder how he likes being run by Elon. Hey, Elon's your boss. Did you answer your email, Jason?
Who are you talking to right now?
The guy who just donated $10.
Oh, Jason's a military.
Jason, respond to that email.
Oh, you have an email you need to respond to, Jason. And while you're doing that, give Rudy your address so I can drop off this coaster, Holmes. All right.
He's out in Destin, Florida.
Oh, geez. Well, give the address so I can mail it to you. I'm not going to Florida. I'm not going to Portland.
Mind.
Anywhere in the greater Bexar County area, I am happy to
go. Now, if you're in the hellscape, he may hand deliver it.
Well, I'm going in April, so if you're in the hellscape, yeah, I can bring it to you in the hellscape too. So
I love how you guys call it that.
Reach out to me.
What do we call it?
I don't know. The island apparently is just called the Hellscape. I didn't realize
It's a hellscape, believe me. When you get out of Waikiki and Honolulu and get off the resorts, boom, another donation. Jason with another $1. That's 2. We need 3 more. When you get up into the mountains and up into the country hinterlands of Oahu and try to live there, Jose, it is an effing hellscape.
What is a hellscape?
Well, I mean, okay.
I'm breaking it down for this little young whippersnapper.
Oh, what is a hellscape?
Yeah.
It is a terrible scenario where you're surrounded by mayhem and fire. You ever seen what's the progressives? What's the commercial? The guy, Mr. Mayhem. He walks around
gotcha.
creating
Yeah.
That's a hellscape, the world that he lives in.
Gotcha.
All right. And Hawaii was a hellscape when I lived there because of roosters and lack of internet, flooding, muskrats, and it was too hot all the time. And surfers begging for money. It was a bit of a hellscape.
Surfers beg for money?
No, they don't.
Oh.
They try to sell you pot. That's what they do.
I like
wow.
Homeless people in Hawaii try to sell weed. Huh?
Is it good weed in Hawaii?
I'd have to ask someone that smokes pot. I wouldn't know.
I would think like with the soil, maybe.
Dude, it's great.
I'm very interested. I'm very interested. Shout out to Jorge.
Orale, Jorge. $5. I will email you today, Mike. Yeah. Hey, Holmes, you've got the t-shirt coming to you, sir. Email me today. If you live in the area, I can meet you somewhere, Holmes. I'd like to take a picture with you and post it for content. There's $5. All right. 2 more donators. The second person to donate right now is going to get this coaster. All right.
We're 3 deep.
Yeah, we're 3 deep. We got to get 5 deep. 5 deep to get the coaster. That's 3 total. Yeah. 2 mas. All right. Speaking of football and stuff and things and the combine, the NFLPA's annual player survey reports.
I want to hear this. You sent me this morning. Let's talk.
So for those who don't know, every year the players union, they do an anonymous survey of every player in the league, wanting to know how are you treated by your team.
I love these.
Tell us about the facilities and the leadership and how they treat your mom and things like this. So
I remember 2 years ago, Arizona had like the worst facilities ever.
So I pulled it up here. Teams are graded based on player satisfaction in several specific categories, including travel accommodations, treatment of families, food, nutrition, locker room condition, coaches, ownership, leadership. All right. And then the NFLPA takes the report and they literally publish a ranking 1 to 32. They throw folks under the bus.
And because they should be, Mike, because we're making too much money.
I'm gonna hide this list.
Hide it from me. So it kind of reminds me of when I watched Moneyball and they traded for David Justice and he gets to the A's and he's trying to go get a soda and he's like, well, when it come out, they're like, fool, you gotta put money in it. He's like, you pay for your own soda? Because he's coming from the Yankees, I think.
Right.
He's coming from the Yankees. Like, so that type of shit needs to be called out because we're making billions and it's unacceptable.
Right.
So I like this.
They're eating like post toasties in the fucking clubhouse. That's their breakfast.
Yeah, Rice Krispies and shit. Like these are $1 million athletes eating Rice Krispies.
Right. So I don't I have the whole list, but y'all want to go through the top 10 and the bottom 10?
Let's do the top 10. Let's do top 10, bottom 10. Let's do it.
Do top or bottom first?
Bottom.
I'm bottom today.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm versatile. Oh, there's the $4.99. Boom, Xavier just won the coaster. Richard De Castro, $4.99.
Thank you.
Xavier Barajas, $10. Enjoy the show, fellas. Keep up the great work. Xavier, you have won the coaster. Bam. There it is.
You're only giving them one?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, I thought we were gonna give them the set.
I give him shit. I'm gonna give them away individually. This is one.
It's a collector's item.
Collector's item. This could be a family heirloom right here.
You never know. About? You know what? It may be. You know what? The trajectory we're on. This could be worth a lot more in a year or two.
No
so
question. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe you should sign it in black Sharpie. Who knows?
Well, see,
then you mess up the logo.
You ever seen those real cool silver Sharpies?
Yeah. We'll sign the back.
The back of it. If you have a silver Sharpie, I can sign the back of it. Yeah. It's got.
I'll go get the silver Sharpie.
Go look at that. Right, man of the people.
Rudy and I will both sign this.
Boston Red Sox fan.
Top or bottom first?
I'm a bottom. I like
to.
I like to be underneath.
Right.
Look at Jeff Slaughter up in there, letting us use his facilities and tipping. Thank you, Jeff.
Gene. What's up, Jeff? Jeff El Jefe, Pub Sports Radio Studios in Southtown, Texas, where we emanate this show from these days. Thank you, man. All right, bottom 10. Number 24, Cincinnati. Cheap ass Brown family.
24. Okay, not shocked.
Yeah, not shocked.
And 24 means like that's how you ranked overall.
Mm-hmm.
Not shocked at all.
No, cheap organization. 25, Carolina.
Not shocked.
26, Kansas City.
Yep.
Really?
Shitty facilities.
You got the
guys.
You have the GOAT.
You have the GOAT, and the facilities are shitty. And you have the great Lamar Hunt. His kids all run the team. Who I love the Hunts and how they do business. They're very just no frills, no bullshit, just football.
Yeah, that's what they were last year too. And the only reason people come is for two people.
Pat uses his own trainer, guy from Fort Worth.
The Chiefs are 26.
26.
That's shocking
Kansas
to me.
City.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
27, Tampa Bay.
All right, let me see if I can get these last four. Because
Okay.
28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay. You don't have
5 left.
Jacksonville's in there.
No.
At least Sean Conn.
Cleveland.
Cleveland is 30th. Whew.
Because it's old and because they need to upgrade, the Bears in the top bottom.
No, Chicago is not bottom.
Arizona's still in the bottom. I know they are.
Arizona is dead last.
Okay,
32.
still?
Yeah.
So they saw the list last year and said, I don't give a damn.
No, the Bidwells don't give two shits. They're the cheapest people in football. So the players' overall inadequate locker room, small showers, terrible training facilities, food options are terrible, and families not given enough access. Most players say they would leave in free agency if they could. If they were free agents, they would not reconsider going back to the Cardinals. And you wonder why them some bitches never win anything.
Yeah. Who else we got in there?
All right. So 28th is Pittsburgh.
That's unfortunate. That because
the
like if
Rooney's
you're
are old school.
if you're a
digital media,
yeah.
what's that?
If you're a historic franchise, you shouldn't be anywhere near the bottom 5 because you're making it
If you're a goddamn billionaire, you shouldn't be
but that's a nationwide brand.
I know. It's a national brand.
Who else we
29, the New York Jets and the number one media capital of the world.
Come on.
They look shitty.
Woody Johnson has a great name, the owner. It's a great name, Woody Johnson. But he is a 52-yard punt of a person. He is a shithead. That man he's in New York and cheap like that. And 31, you would think everybody assumes that they would have the best of everything because of all the championships. But Bob Kraft is surreptitiously cheap on the down low. New England, 31st in player satisfaction.
Really?
We had Tommy. We don't need good facilities. We win despite it.
Huh.
Bad. So in Arizona, New England, the worst two in the league. Terrible.
Arizona and New England are worst two. And what's sad about Arizona is, and that's why you probably would want to leave, is because this list has come out and they're always at the bottom, and yet they refuse to fix it. So you really just don't give a shit.
No, they don't care. No. That's about not giving a damn. Yeah. All right. Let's go through the top 10 real quick. We want to do number 1 or we want to go 10, make it dramatic?
Go 10 up.
All right. Number 10, the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys are only 10th.
Yep.
I would have had the Cowboys. I would have had the Cowboys top 5 facilities because Jerry loves his guys and he loves his facilities. 10?
Winning, not so much, but yeah, great facilities for sure.
Is there the specifics of what they don't like about the Cowboys facility?
The locker room and the facility got an A.
Okay.
Caring for players' family, Jerry gets an A. Strong coaching leadership, Jerry gets an A. Too bad you ran McCarthy off.
Okay.
Where they not fare as well was training staff. Cowboys players are not enamored by the Cowboys training staff.
Okay.
Am I moving my head too much? People are saying my volume's low.
Yeah, because
is that my bad? I'm a head talker.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Keep it in your mouth.
All right, my bad. Number 9, Detroit.
They look like a happy bunch of guys.
The Ford family take good care of
them. They look
them.
like a bunch of happy guys.
8, San Francisco. Of course, in that city, if guys are not happy, they're going to have to go get their pet hamster to pet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the family has to take care of them. 7 is Green Bay. I'm not surprised because
why are you not surprised about Green Bay?
Because those owners know we're Green Bay. We better bust ass to keep these kids healthy. They have to move in here.
Great point. You would think Cincinnati would know that.
You would.
Who wants to live in Cincinnati?
Nobody. 6, Houston. They want a new stadium now.
I can dig it.
Mm-hmm. All right, top 5. Number 5, Los Angeles Chargers.
Then that means 4 is the Rams.
4, Las Vegas Raiders.
They got brand new shit, so I get it.
3, the whole Atlanta Falcons. Number 3.
Their owner knows how to take care of
He
not
does.
only his players, but he takes care of his fans as well. He was the guy that started this whole, like, man, we're going to sell our concessions at good prices. He was the first owner to do that.
Yeah, the $2 hot dog
Yeah,
section
that
and
type
all
of
that.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Number 2, the Minnesota Vikings.
Let me see if I can guess one. And
All right.
I'm taking a stab in the dark here only because I'm going up more off of the city, and I'm thinking guys just don't want to leave the city.
Okay.
So they're gonna
You're getting warmer already.
They're gonna overrate the franchise.
Possibly.
I'm gonna say Miami because young, rich athletes love living in Miami.
Ding, 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 ding.
It was
ding,
their
yeah.
number one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, who?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, everything's great.
Yeah.
Don't trade me.
Right. He may have a lot of concussions, but Hawk Tua Tagovailoa
I
is
got-
a happy guy.
I got $10 million living on South Beach.
Right. You think they overrated because they love living in Miami?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Oh, these kids are all spoiled though.
But,
they bitch if the weight room's suck.
But they love that coach too.
I know. And I run hot and cold on him.
Me too. Like, you're a little bit too cool.
Yeah, I wish he'd wear
Like, I don't think
pants.
I don't think he can ever cuss somebody out and anyone take him serious because he's such a dude
with his sweatpants and one leg pulled up to the knee, looking like he's 18. Yeah, it's not a great look to me.
Will you take McDaniel's pants pulled up over the hat back man in Washington?
You know what?
Dan Quinn's hat backwards?
Dan Quinn has less excuses because he's 60 years old looking like that. At least McDaniel's 38 or whatever he is, and he's been coaching since he was 22. So there it is, man. Dallas is 10. Miami is 1. Cardinals dead ass last.
Damn, so then the Rams fell in the middle.
Middle of the pack. Your Bears are in the teens.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Although they're looking to build a new stadium too in Chicago. So
yeah, they need a new stadium, but I think they're putting it in Arlington.
All right, I got a mad dash push. Saturday is our land showcase. All right, I want to get we've got a pretty good, healthy number of RSVPs, which I'm happy about. Hopefully, half of them will show up. On Saturday, it is our Floresville showcase presented by my boys at Blue Indy Realty. Are you interested in looking at Texas land? We've got 3 to 5 acre unrestricted land plots, and you can come look at these. When I say unrestricted, that means once you buy a plot of land, you can do whatever the hell you want to with that land. Build a sex grotto if you want to, or just a dream home or whatever. Come hang out with us this week. Free food Saturday, 10 to 2, free drinks. Me and my boy Joshua Bohannon, the friendly bearded real estate agent that helps sell all these mass pieces of land. That's a good dude.
Yeah,
he does good work. He and I will be out there giving personal tours of all of the land. Hey, if you won the coaster, that dude that won the coaster, come out to the land sale in Floresville Saturday, and I'll personally hand you your coaster. That's this Saturday, the Blue Indy Realty Land Showcase just outside Floresville. If you are interested in going, reach out to me, and I will send you all of the coordinates to all of the things.
You got to coordinate.
Yes. They don't have an address yet out here, this property, because there's nothing on it. As soon as we start selling some of the lots, then we're going to start building the roads and stuff, and it'll have an address and all that kind of thing. But it's just outside of Floresville, Texas.
Here's a dumb question.
Yes, sir.
How do streets get named? Can you name a street if you buy the plot of land?
No, I think that comes down to the overall people, like the people that Mike worked for. I would think. I don't know who.
I don't know. That's a great question, Mike.
These are questions we need to find out.
I remember when David lived in the Dominion, he was like Admiral Lane. He had a whole street to himself so people wouldn't bother him, but that's David Robinson.
Right. But I think obviously the county and the city have to approve that. You can see, you ever drive through a neighborhood and you can tell that whoever named these streets, they were giving up. They gave up.
You think so?
Yeah, there's everything ends in wood, spruce wood, spice wood, cottonwood.
And then I can also tell
morning wood, all these woods.
I can also tell when it's like a tycoon and he named every street after his family members.
Oh,
they have like a female name or a male name. I'm like, oh, that's his family, man. That's his cousin. Gave his cousin the street. Like, you can own this block. Whatever we sell on this block is yours.
There's a neighborhood up near the medical center where all the streets are Romo, Hackman.
Really?
Yeah. Staubach.
I like it. Really? Even though I don't care for the Cowboys, I like the bit.
It's pretty cool.
I like the bit. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Texas and Texas things, Rudy he sent this on the chat today, and he and I always go over what we're going to talk about. What is up with the measles scene here in the great state of Texas?
And we finally had a poor kid, unvaccinated,
oh my goodness,
passed away from the measles, like it's 1922. Unvaccinated child is bad parenting for certain things. COVID,
well,
I'm not going to argue with people about COVID, about the COVID vaccine.
There's no side you can take where that you won't get 50% of the country mad at you.
I know.
There's just no way to go.
I like, again, COVID, we can debate because, Fauci, whatever. That's a whole other topic. Like, I ain't taking that jab, whatever, but there's certain things. And I don't even know, like, how did this kid, because with my 6-year-old, there was a list of shots she had to take before they would even let her in.
In a lot of public schools, yeah. Parents actually will go to the city or the county, the government, and get an affidavit signed by the governor saying, you have to let my kid in your school and he's not vaccinated, but you have to. And schools have to abide by it. You can go to the government. If you can get approval, then a school can't deny you if you're not vaccinated.
I didn't know that.
Now, and I don't look. We're getting into waters here that I'm certainly no expert in.
Yeah, I can't either. Yeah,
but
I feel bad for the kid. That's all I'm saying.
It's just like, the COVID vaccine.
That's a whole different.
Not the same as chicken pox and measles,
right?
And polio and all that shit.
We've done the proper research since we say, "Oh, we can't come up with a vaccine in a year." Cool, I'll listen to that.
By the way, I have no problem. I got two two COVID vaccines plus the booster. I believed in it. I'm fine.
I had to go to cowboy camp.
No shit.
The first year I went to cowboy camp, I had to have both.
Yeah.
And I had to have a negative test before the Cowboys would let me on to wherever we were, Oxnard.
Yeah, but I will say this. I don't have any problem with unvaccinated people unless they're a danger to others.
Right.
Like, your kid can't give my kid something because he ain't vaccinated. If your kid just gets the measles, but my kid's good, that's your problem.
Yeah, sure.
Unfortunate.
I like that take, Mike.
This started off with what? Some West Texas cult, some religious some old religious organization. I mean, there's not a lot of difference in a lot of them. Just saying, there's not. We now have 124 cases of measles in Texas. It is our first actual outbreak in 30 years. So what happened 30 years ago? Probably some more damn Quakers out in West Texas, all shacking up with each other, having sex with the same guy because I don't want to offend folks, but it's hard not to. These people literally believe God does not want them getting vaccinated. So how do you argue with somebody like that?
You don't.
You can't.
You're not going to change their mind.
But if they are a danger to the greater society, then the government has to step in. Governor Abbott has already announced this morning that he's sending epidemiologists, immunization teams, specimen collection teams to the affected areas out in the west part of the state.
Good. He's done something right.
The government still has to protect the greater good. And I'm sorry if Jesus don't want you getting vaccinated, but if you're going to give the clap to my kid, we're going to have to come up with something. We're going to have to come up. Y'all got to get the fuck out of my neighborhood or something like that.
I'm with you. Yeah. I think that takes the best. Like, if it doesn't affect mine, do what you want with yours.
Right.
I like that. I think that's a mic drop.
Right. And I love the kids.
And I hope everybody's all right.
I support the kids. And what sucks is measles affects if it affects people under 5 years old. And that's what I'm assuming the little kid that died is a little bitty kid.
Right.
You and I can get measles, we'll be fine. You get measles when you're 4 and you weren't vaccinated.
Good point.
Got to help your parents, man. Literally. But they literally think God does not want them getting vaccinated. And if the kid dies, that's God's will. You can't argue with that.
So
we just can't hang.
There's some things you just let people have.
Gotta call Whataburger on that.
Right.
All right. Speaking of kids and how much I care for the kiddies, I have an announcement real quick. Shout out to Philip A. Perez Law Firm. Philip A. Perez Law.
That's
Becky's husband.
Yeah, Becky's
World
husband.
Car Becky.
That's my guy. I like Philip. He's a good dude.
My man Philip has stepped up. He is sponsoring our stage for the 2025. Mike Taylor cooking for the kids barbecue of 2K25 over by Woodlawn Lake at the Red Shield Youth Center. Got to have a stage so you and I can talk.
Mm-hmm.
I got to give shit away. I got to go out there and anchor the thing. We got
to be heard.
We got bands and we got to do the national anthem. We got to have the prayer. We need a microphone. So we need a stage, and I don't mind. We don't mind paying for the stage, but why not? Why pay if we can get a sponsor and then use that money and give it right back to the school? Because we don't want any overhead. Right? No overhead. So we got that taken care of. That's awesome. I did a live chat yesterday on Instagram over at Poblano's Mexican restaurant, and I spent 10 minutes on the need for a stage sponsor, and before the day was over, we got one. How about that?
Shout out to Philip, man.
Thank you, Philip.
Good
Appreciate
guy.
you, man.
We still got to smoke a cigar together, Philip. Holla at me.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
He's a big cigar guy.
Oh,
I've talked to him before, and we talked about golf and cigars, but haven't gotten around to. He's about to be a daddy.
Yep.
He's about to be a daddy, so he ain't gonna have no time.
She's all belly.
Yeah.
All right, we have an update on barbecue teams too. Speaking of,
how many we got now?
We're now up to 12. I would like to get 30. All right, now
does 30 fit on that yard?
Yeah, we can get creative. We'll get 30 in there.
You're like, yeah, we can fit it. Gosh damn it!
Damn right, we can fit it. I can see this thing I can see this thing if we keep doing it in the years to come, actually expanding over into the next field that's behind that lot too. So we have 12 barbecue teams. I need to get to 30 by May. The deadline is like May the 1st-ish. We still have time, but I really want to get the barbecue teams taken care of so I can focus on other aspects of the barbecue. There's a lot. There's more that goes into the barbecue than getting us on Spotify. I can tell you that. There's no way we could do it without a committee of helpers. So here are the barbecue teams as we speak. Team Mestizo, Never Enough Time, the Marbach Miracles.
I like it.
The Macaulay Gang Cookers, Mucho Smoke It Easy, AJ Monnier Barbecue Team, Cuts by Jones, my man Cuts.
Oh, what up, Cuts?
Pit Bullies Barbecue, Grilling in the Name of, that's a great name. Methodist Healthcare, thank you, my guys over at Methodist. Los Hermanos de Pipa, and the team that signed up 2 days ago, the Burner Boys.
I like
Burner Boys. So thank you.
I got the Marbach Miracles taking #1 in something. The Marbach folks cook different. The Marbach boys got that smoke down. I got them winning #1 in something.
Shout out to them Marbach Miracles. They usually try to get a corner spot, and
that's somebody's Theo.
They get there the day before, and they spend all night.
Yeah, that's somebody's Theo that get busy. That's somebody's Theo that gets busy, dog. Let me tell you something.
Ain't no question about that.
Right.
All right, let's do some punching.
Let's punch somebody.
By the law office of Orlando Kell, the official family lawyer up in the building. Rudy J., do you have somebody today that you would like to punch, sir?
I'm going to punch him because he'll be fine, and he's stupid rich, and his trucks come to my house maybe twice a week because of my wife. Punch Jeff Bezos for what he's doing to his opinion writers at the Washington Post. He's told them, like, yo, your opinion shit.
No, he cut off columns?
As far as the opinion columns.
Oh, wow.
The opinion columns, and one of the major. Yeah, like, hey, if it's not along the lines of what I like, I'm paraphrasing.
Wow.
It won't be published. And a couple of guys at the Washington Post have already quit because for the longest, Bezos was like, yeah, I own the Washington Post, but y'all do your thing. A lot of people feel like, hey, man, you roll with who helps you. We're all selfish, right? And you roll with the people that are going to help you and your family and your business. And a lot of people feel like, at times it is what it is. He's in bed with certain people, and we're not going to be giving certain opinions about certain people that I'm in bed with because it affects my bottom line. We're like that as humans. If it affects me, Rudy, and Anna, and Tatiana, and Destiny, and Ellie, and it's for the better, that's who I'm rolling with. So I think that's the bed Bezos in. I'm kind of shocked because he's kind of let them do what they wanted me forever. The Post has been lean left, would you say?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's the Washington woke. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
I think a lot of people are shocked that Bezos pulled this move, but again, he's got to do what he got to do. But punch him for it because I'm shocked because he's never done that before. He can get punched and he's still gonna make $28 billion this month.
Sorry, my prediction for the future.
What's that?
We won't have governments by countries anymore. We'll have a world government.
World?
Yeah, and it'll be ran by Elon Musk kid, Jeff Bezos.
Which
kid,
one?
One of them or two of them.
Trump's
great grandsons, some dudes from China. In 300 years, we'll have one global body. ran by
Are you calling this like, you
multi-trillionaires.
talking about like Big Ten, SEC? Put it in sports terms for me.
Oh, okay. All right. So right now,
You
okay,
know?
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
In 200-300 years, the world will be run by the SEC and the Big Ten.
Shit.
I believe we're going that way. I
Greg
really do.
Sankey, no.
If you took the 20 richest human beings right now, if they all decided to get together and pile their resources together, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates,
Elon.
Guido Sloom down in Mexico, the guy that runs all of Europe, the guy that owns Louis Vuitton, Elon Musk, the Trumps. If these 20 people were to get into a room, the sheiks down in Saudi Arabia,
Got to let them in.
they could take the world over right now if they wanted to, because they could buy their own, they can build their own damn military, because they could pay for it all.
Yeah, they can afford it.
That's where we're headed, you know? And so y'all enjoy
I'm
this.
just shocked
Enjoy your
Bezos.
freedom now.
I'm just shocked. Bezos didn't normally like that. He normally like, yeah, I own the Post, so what? They everybody
Yeah.
had their freedom of speech,
Dude.
but that's been yanked.
Dude, people change. Elon Musk was a super left lib 10 years ago.
He was?
Absolutely.
I don't know anything about
Absolutely.
Elon Musk.
He's whatever makes him richer today.
Okay.
All right. I want to
Who you
punch
punching?
Dallas Mavericks general owner Nico Harrison.
What did Nico do?
They just shut the fuck up already.
Oh, yes.
We
Great punch, Mike.
continue
That
to
should have been
leak
my punch.
dirt on Luka Doncic. Now you
great
look
punch.
petty. The Mavericks have now let it leak that we were also extremely concerned because Luka kept going to hookah lounges
And drinking beer.
You mean the 25-year-old kid from Eastern Europe likes to go to the hookah lounge
Bro.
and drink beer? They start drinking beer when they're 7 years old in Slovenia.
And they burn heaters all day and night,
Dude,
don't they?
The smoking limit, I think, is 10 years old in Slovenia. That's what they do. And here's the thing. If going to the fucking hookah lounge and having a keg of beer a week, if Luka was like missing flights and was too drunk to play and was fall down AA needing, okay, got it. I don't know. He's won 5 all NBA designations.
First team all NBA 5 times.
The guy's been first team all NBA and he's 5 years old.
Hookah
5 years old, 25 years old.
Hookah
God almighty.
Hookah
He's 25 years old. Who gives a shit if he goes to the hookah lounge? That has nothing to do with him playing hoops.
This is what I'll say, Mike.
It's ridiculous.
I don't like the way they
stop leaking information. They look like they're 18-year-old girls.
I don't mind them telling themselves in a room like, hey, when this guy hits 30 something, I don't know if he's going to be able to hold up. I don't want to give him 350, 400 million. I'm okay with them saying, hey, the way this guy lives his life, I don't want to give him 350.
Yeah.
But going about it this way and continuing to leak stuff like, oh, he's constantly coming in too fat. Mm-hmm. Now he smokes too much hookah. He drinks too much beer, taking his beer away. Michael Finley taking his beer away. Like, just say what it is. Like, hey, we don't want to give anybody 350 million, including Luka Doncic, but just like trying to leak things and justify you trading them is bullshit.
It's bullshit.
And it makes you look weak.
Yeah, because you've got the pressure of the world because everybody knows you fucked up.
Right.
Own your trade.
Right.
He showed up to the game. Okay, respect on that. But don't keep leaking bad shit about this kid.
Right.
It's bullcrap. Again, it's one thing if he's missing games because he's hungover.
Or the plane's waiting on him.
Yeah, that's different, man. If if he gets a DUI, I mean, that's different. This kid's got 0 off the court issues that have gone public. Has he ever gotten in trouble? Have you ever read about him, domestic or a DUI or gotten a fight in a bar?
No.
Nothing. This kid has no footprint outside of basketball.
They didn't think this through. I know they knew that people would be upset. I don't think they knew it was going to be this.
Right.
Like you're earlier in the chat.
Idea.
Early in the chat, your cousin Chris, former Mavs fan.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you got people leaving. You had to give people money back for, season tickets. They didn't think it was going to be what it is. So now they're like, hey, let's cover our ass and make Luka out to be this dude. Dude, again, and I'm not comparing him to Jordan. I'm not comparing him to Bird, but that's what, you know how much Bird drank?
Every night after the game.
18. I'm talking about while they're in the locker room getting interviewed.
Mike played golf and smoked cigars on game days.
On game day. Like,
and lost 50 grand in gambling on the plane on the road trips.
I have a triple-double against every team, and I took Kyrie Irving and a bunch of spares to the finals.
Yeah.
I've been to 2 conference finals.
Right.
Like, get the other people around me so I don't have to play defense, and let me worry about the hookah and beer.
Dirk drank his ass off the first 5-6 years.
Dirk's a German.
Yes.
His beer, not only did he drink beer, it was hot.
One of my favorite. So a bunch of photos got out in the early 2000s of Dirk and Steve Nash partying in bars. And my attitude, even way back then, 20-something-year-old me, I was like, I'm a bigger fan.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He dropped 40 on the Bulls last night. He ought to be able to go drinking. I mean, I could even tell you a couple of the bars he drank at after games in Dallas, because I was covering games in those days. You'd see Dirk in the Loon right there in Uptown Dallas, right by the arena. You've been in downtown Dallas.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Dirk pictures, they just beaten Miami in the finals.
Nice.
And he didn't go to bed all night. And the next morning, he and Steve,
Steve was already gone. Steve was in Phoenix.
Okay, yeah. So there's an old picture of Dirk.
That's before the finals.
He's hanging out with some road lizard, some little young thing. And she takes a selfie with Dirk, and she's going like this, throwing her little peace signs in the air, and Dirk's passed out, sitting up. Dirk's got a Western Conference Champions t-shirt on, a Western Conference Champions hat. It's on crooked because it's about to fall off, and his head is slumped over, and his eyes are closed. And he's got a cigarette in one hand and a beer in the other, and he's passed out drunk, sitting up with a beer and a cigarette. And they didn't trade him to the fucking Lakers. They kept him, and he wound up being the 7th all-time leading scorer and won the championship in 2011.
Exactly, dude. There's an overreaction. And again, they didn't want to give him the max. I'm okay with that. Don't throw the man under the bus.
Right.
Though.
It's not working. Nico, take a different route. And maybe he's being told by the ownership. I don't know. So throw the whole organization under the bus, but Nico's the guy we know.
I never thought I'd say this.
Bullshit.
And the reason it makes me more mad as an NBA fan, I think Luka was on his way to being my villain. And now I'm rooting for him.
He's a hero now.
He's
a martyr.
You know how many people I've seen say, hey, you know what? I didn't really care for Luka, but I'm pulling for him now because what Dallas is doing is bullshit. I'm pulling for Luka. And again, I haven't rooted for the Lakers since Kobe retired in 2016, but I wouldn't be mad to see Luka get a title with the Lakers just to shove it up Dallas's ass.
And I know some Mavericks fans that wouldn't like it either. I mean, they wouldn't care if the Lakers won the championship. They might like to see Luka get a ring. It's insane. It's stupid what they're doing. Stop throwing this kid under the bus. Hookah Luka.
Hookah Doncic.
Hookah Doncic.
That's a good nickname.
Stupid.
That's what I'm calling him from now on.
Bullshit.
And first of all, Luka.
Hookah Luka. Or do we like Hookah Doncic?
Man,
I like Hookah Doncic.
I don't care. I don't care for guys that smoke hookah. Smoke a cigar or a cigarette.
I've tried it with Nina. Doing millennial shit.
And you didn't like it.
It's fine. I'll do it again, but not like I do it all the time.
I didn't take you for a hookah guy.
I didn't feel nothing.
I don't like hookah.
I like bongs.
Orlando Kell.
Orlando Kell is our family man. If you need a family lawyer, Orlando Kell is that man. And it does not matter when I say the word family. You don't have to be getting divorced.
Right.
A couple of weeks back, I've mentioned this. Orlando had an adoption case, those are beautiful. Those are great. That's awesome. So if you need a family man on your side in court, it is Orlando Kell. He brings his people I want to punch every day. Is Orlando Kell Law at gmail.com or 210-775-4995. A couple of things before we get out of here. This is really cool. Pub Sports Radio is a big supporter of these Alamo card shows that go on here in town from time to time. And this is now official. This is a big announcement.
Seen the flyer.
And the last time we had
you have the flyer?
The last time we had the Alamo Card Show, Vince Young was the guest of honor. This one, my man,
Johnny Gosh damn football.
You think this dude's had some hookah in his life? This dude's had some beer.
Johnny's doing lawyer line. Oh, let me stop. I don't want to do. I don't.
No, it's fine. It's all right. No, we're good.
I don't want to mess this up.
No, this is why I want to go meet him.
All right, then let's do a line.
People assume we have to be careful with our public relations. Shit, I like Johnny because he's Johnny Party. I love Johnny Manziel.
Couple lawyer lines. I
Johnny
ain't never heard nobody.
Manziel Kerrville Tybee's owned by way of Tyler, former Texas Aggie. They don't. Do you think the Aggies give a shit what
Tyler,
that kid
Texas,
did in the
but
NFL?
no.
Shit.
He built
Texas
that stadium.
A&M, we got Johnny Manziel from the Learfield Sports. Johnny Manziel is the guest of honor on May 18th. That's a Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. He is the guest of honor. He'll be signing autographs, taking pictures, a meet and greet with Johnny Football. An autograph, including an inscription, $79. Autograph, including inscription with a photo op, $99. Photo op, $49. It's all presented by Pub Sports Radio, Boomtown Collectibles. That's a huge collectible company here in town at 24/7 Church up on the north side off 1604 in Judson Road. Tell all your Aggie buddies that Johnny Football is coming to town on Sunday, May 18th. He's the guest of honor at the Alamo Card Show. I am definitely going to go hang out and see if I can meet Johnny.
Johnny was ahead of the curve on these type of things. This is the one Johnny got in trouble for.
Right. And look at him now. Speaking of martyrs, he's a martyr.
He was ahead of his time. He's like, and what was funny though, when you watched the Netflix special, he was like, or it was a 30 for 30, one of the two, and he was like, yeah, I just told everybody my pops had money. Why would I do a signing? It was genius.
Right.
It was genius.
Genius.
It was genius. Like, man, I come from money. What do you think I'm going to go sit up in a hotel room and sign autographs? My dad is blah, 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 woo, woo, woo. We got oil money, fool.
Right.
And you know what? I never questioned it.
I didn't either.
Perks of being white. It was an awesome bit. Because if Dan Bryan would have said, man, I come from money. Live in Lufkin.
Now, I knew that his dad did they transferred from Tyler to
Kerrville Tybee
because Pops took another job.
Right.
Now we can discuss how he got
job.
that
I ain't getting into that. But that is what happened.
But I don't know if I just believed him too. I guess his dad's got an oil and gas job in Kerrville. That's all I guessed. That's what he said. Colin Cowherd was calling him Johnny Oilwell on his national show.
We all bought it.
I know.
It was
great.
Genius bit.
Genius
bit. Love Johnny Football.
Love Johnny Football.
He built a stadium.
Yes, he did.
Him, RG3. There's not many guys that can say they built a stadium for their
way
university.
ahead of his time.
Way ahead of his time. He built that stadium. Johnny can do no wrong in my eyes. I don't give a damn what happened in the NFL football field.
And it's the first to admit I didn't want to play in the NFL. I was burned out by then, but they paid me $5 million. I'm like,
go get that.
Might as well do that. Who would not do that shit? Right. And it's Cleveland. Fuck the Cleveland Browns. They deserve it. They're a shitty organization anyway.
And again, just more to add to the legend of Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
He feels himself slipping in the draft. Jerry Jones has been hog-tied to not draft him. So once Jerry doesn't draft, what does Johnny do? And this is what I like doers. Gets on the phone. Cleveland, let's wreck the league. Take me. Let's do this shit.
Right, I know.
And Cleveland's like, gosh damn it, let's do it.
Yep, selling seats.
Hey, man.
Selling seats.
Get to the bag.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yo, I'm about to fall out of the first round. Let me hustle Cleveland into drafting me so I can get this $5 million and chill out. Love Johnny
Damn
Football.
right. And this is the first time ever that Johnny Manziel is doing a signing in San Antonio, which was super cool.
That's weird.
Because I've been following that kid since he was up at Tybee. First time he's ever done a signing in our city. So this is cool. This is the first time you can ever go get an autograph in this city from Johnny Football on the 18th of May. Looking forward to that. All right. Speaking of college guys, Quinn Ewers, new respect. I'll get out, and this will be my last. That's all I got today, and you can take it if you need to. But
no.
Now
you want to praise him.
I get respect.
You beat him up for 10 weeks, Mike.
I still don't want him on my team.
Okay.
I'm still delighted that Arch is taking over.
Yeah.
So Quinn Ewers turns out had a torn oblique muscle all season long, not strained, torn.
Oblique.
Yeah, stomach right here in the gut, torn. Most respect to Quinn Ewers. Still don't think he's a long-term starter in the NFL. That doesn't matter. He doesn't assuage my mistrust in him. I don't want him starting for the Cowboys. But he's damn. I never said he was a sugar britches. He's tough as hell. He's a tough kid. He just got too much Jay Cutler vibe for me.
I know what you mean.
You know, that's it. I saw
but he
that,
never
though.
bitched about that.
No, and
I didn't even know till today. I was today years old finding this out.
Played with a torn muscle all season long. And let me say this too. And we can get out of here after that. But so college football is changing.
No, it's changed.
It's changed. Yeah. Johnny Manziel's like, damn, I could have made twice as much.
Johnny would have made $50 million.
Oh, shit. they lied about his injury all year at Texas to protect, to keep teams from, scouting it. How much longer in this new college football are they going to be able to go where they're able to bullshit about injuries? The NFL can't do that because of gambling and money.
Right. I don't know.
At some point, there's going to be a demand because of the public's going to demand it because of gambling. These college teams can't be fudging these injuries anymore.
Yeah. And great agent work by whoever Quinn Ewers' agent is. Releasing this info is genius because he's fallen out of people's good graces. Speaking of Quinn Ewers. So the agent says, you know what a good agent does? Like, yo, it's time to tell everybody, like, hey, yeah, you had some bad throws. But a lot of those bad throws are because of your oblique. Let's tell these 32 teams that. Great agent work. Nothing like a great agent.
No, great. Quinn's made a ton of money in college at Ohio State and Texas. And he's a tough kid. I'm not trying to hate on him. I don't think that he's a long-term starter in the league. There ain't nothing wrong with that. He had a great college career. He took him to the playoffs 2 years in a row, won 3 playoff games. And like, Taylor, you still give the kid shit. Well, it's more because I just love Arch Manning.
Well, when you're getting a couple million, you're no longer kid. You're just, I'm watching you play football.
For sure. No doubt. Right, no doubt. But mass props to Quinn, Tarrant County's own, South Lake, Texas, my home county, for playing with the torn stomach muscle all year long.
That's brutal.
That is brutal. All right, we're done. Congratulations to the dude that won the coaster. Reach out to me. I will deliver this coaster to you today. Jason in Portland, reach out to me. We need to send you the George. Thank you to Bouquet. Thank you to Rudy J. Thank you to me. Thank you to the people. F. Nico Harrison. We're done.